Yo, people, and welcome to another episode of Through a Different Lens podcast. It is Wildcard Weekend. It's
Mhm.
time. It's time. I'm one of your co-hosts, Joe,
I'm Dej.
and got our boy joining us again. Obviously, the first time was in person, but hey, we're here to do it virtual. My brother, thank you for joining us, Kadeem. If you wanna, introduce yourself, plug your pod as well.
Yeah, Kadeem, long time listener, returning guest. And yeah, as the hat says, Go Time Dolphins. That's my YouTube/podcast show about the Miami Dolphins with my host Charlie Touche. So yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, guys, you heard that. Go Time, Go Dolphins. Go check it out. I was listening to yesterday's episode regarding John Harbour being fired, and then literally not too long ago, the live episode with a reaction of your team firing their head coach, Matt McDaniels, which we're gonna touch upon soon. I thought it was harsh, but it was interesting to see you and Charlie's take, as well as your the other Dolphins fans in the comments, because I was actually looking and I was like, oh rah, this seems to be kind of a unanimous thing. But yeah, we're gonna touch upon that soon. We're gonna start off with wildcard weekend. Obviously, the Broncos and the Seahawks, both number one seeds, so they have got the bye. But we're gonna go AFC first, 2 versus 7. The Patriots are hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Dej, what's your thoughts, your take on the game, as well as you, Kadeem? And then what teams do you think are going to progress? Well, what team in that game?
Well, I would just like to start by saying the Patriots surprised me this season. Because, like we done our prediction at the start, I didn't have them making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Not only are they making the playoffs, they're making it as the one seed in our division. Cool. But
Yeah, both your divisions, actually. Because you two are same division, yeah.
but saying that, they've had an astounding season. And I expect them to beat the Jags. But the Jags are on a roll right now.
Chargers.
I thought you just said Jags.
No, it's Jags Bills.
Jags Bills is the third versus Bills. If I did say
'Cause
Jags, my beats, but Patriots versus the Chargers.
I was thinking, did something happen while I was away that I didn't know about?
Yeah. Now, definitely said Chargers. It felt like I said Chargers anyway.
These past 2 days, I've been on go. But anyway.
Yeah.
But the Chargers, the same thing actually applies. They've been playing sick as well. So it's hard to say that the Patriots are going to win outright.
Mm-hmm.
But wildcard weekend is wildcard weekend. So, anything can happen.
Kadeem, do you think like the Patriots' strength of schedule this weekend, which we'll touch up on the MVP conversation, will not come and haunt them in this opening wildcard game, but it'll really test them?
Yeah, you can only beat what's put in front of you, and it's not their fault that they play in a division where two of the teams don't do anything in the Jets and the Dolphins. But I think like their last loss was to the Bills. That was the last time they played a good team. Like they're playing, it's a cupcake schedule which they have taken advantage of. I would not be surprised if the Chargers, I'm not going to say dismantle them, but kind of like bring them back down to earth and it's like, hey, you had a good season, but let's not pretend that you guys are this juggernaut team, the Patriot team of the past. You've had some very, very easy games. It's like, what, they've beaten one team over 500 this season?
Mm-hmm.
Again, not their fault. It's genuinely not. But
Mm.
I don't know what to make of the Patriots in 2025.
Fair. Do you think Jim Harbaugh's defense can trouble the Patriots' offense? Because obviously that's where the Patriots have been killing it this season with their offense.
Yeah, 100%. But we just played them on Sunday, and yes, the score got out of hand by the end. At halftime, the Dolphins were in that game.
Bro, was it the red zone interception where you guys could have tied the game?
Yeah.
And I was like, woof. I was like, the Dolphins are actually playing all right this first half.
Yeah, like the Patriots scored in the opening 3 plays, just ran the ball down the field. But at that first half alone, the Dolphins were like, "You guys aren't that good. It's just that we are a lot worse." So yeah, the Chargers, they have injuries, but the way Justin Herbert's playing right now, I reckon he can dash up that defense, and I reckon the Chargers defense can slow down Drake May enough to get the job done.
Fair. Aye. So have you got the Chargers winning that game?
I do have the Chargers winning that game.
Woo! That's what you said.
Do you know what? I never had to think about a win until now. But what I will say though is, if there's someone that can steady the ship for Drake May, is Mike Vrabel, innit? So,
I'd say even more
I'll,
so Josh McDaniel in that.
I'll stick with the Patriots though, only because they're top of our division. We've got to rep our division a little bit.
No, that's not how it works.
Hold on.
Listen, I'm not repping the Bills. I'm not repping the Patriots. Like, no, I'm not trying to see the Super Bowl winners being the AFC East. Not at all.
Dej, how you saying I've got to rep our division when your team's still there, bruv? You're gonna
Let me tell you how I want this to go. I want us to get through, and I want us to beat the Patriots as well.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
So that no question is unanswered.
Fair.
But, yeah.
I mean, but that's the thing. I think if Patriots win and you guys win, you guys will face the Broncos.
Listen, I think
So your path is actually.
nah.
Say, all right, we'll come to that game. But you know, hey, it's it's a bit of a tight one. I don't know. Ooh. Do you know? Obviously, Kadeem, you said it. Like the Patriots' schedule was effectively a cupcake. I was seeing today it was the easiest schedule in the NFL. They had the 32nd worst schedule, and funnily enough, the Broncos had the 31st. But just me thinking of the Broncos' wins against the Eagles and the Chiefs, but like made me think that they had a harder schedule, if that makes sense. But yeah, like then the Patriots, they really punish bad teams more than anyone else did. So again, credit to them, which will stay in Stafford's MVP case. But I want to give it to them, but I am scared. I actually want the Chargers to win weirdly, even though I'm a Chiefs guy, as you can see. But we're not in this, because I think the Patriots fans are going to be stupidly annoying because they've been so successful when they've only had a few down years. But
They've always been annoying.
yeah. But apparently Chiefs fans are the new Patriots fans. So hey, there we go. Do you know what? I've got the Patriots just edging it. I think just because they're at home. And obviously May's untested because we haven't seen him in the playoffs, but we have seen Herbert in the playoffs. And his 2 playoff games have not been good, especially last year's game, the 4 interceptions against the Texans. So I'm just going to edge it to the Patriots, but I really won't be surprised if the Chargers win. Absolutely won't be. And it's just whether May can take this regular season MVP-ish form into that game, because I don't think it's been spoken about enough this season, like across the media, how good the Chargers defense is and how well they've been playing. It's just more so what they've had to overcome on the offensive line. And again, like Kadim said, credit to Justin Herbert in that instance. Like you can't fault him there. So yeah, I think I've just got the Patriots winning it. But again, yeah, Chargers defense can stop them. And we saw what happened the last time. The Patriots played a good team. The Bills gave them a little head start, and they said at halftime, hold my bear. we're still the best team in this division, regardless of the record. And ran them down. All right, cool. So me and Dej Patriots, Kadeem Chargers. 3 versus 6. The Jacksonville Jaguars hosting the Buffalo Bills, your team, Dej. But we're going to let Kadeem go with his insight of this game first.
I wouldn't be surprised if the AFC Super Bowl representative comes from this game. I think Jacksonville is playing the best football in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
I think Buffalo I think if Buffalo are to get to the Super Bowl and win it, this is their best chance. No Lamar Jackson, no Patrick Mahomes, but this is a horrible game for them to start with. I genuinely couldn't call it.
Mhm.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence playing the best football of his career so far. Josh Allen is still Josh Allen, but I think they will need to run the ball with James Cook to get anything out of the game. Like this is going to be a very close game in my opinion. Like I genuinely can't call it right now.
On that run part, did you guys know the Jacksonville Jaguars have the best run defense in the NFL?
I didn't, and that's what I'm saying. Like
Which
this
is
is
Bill's strength.
yeah,
Yeah.
this game is going to be absolutely like this game going to be this game is game of the weekend for me. It's
Yeah,
going to be an
yeah, definitely.
amazing game. I would prefer if Jacksonville win it, and I think if Jacksonville win it, I think Sean McDermott leaves Buffalo. But I said that at the start of the season. I think this is going to be last season in the with Buffalo. So I think if Jacksonville wins, he'll go. Do you know what? I've taken this team. I've taken this team as far as it can go, and he'll leave. But I also could see Buffalo like last play of the game, driving out of the field. Josh Allen scrambles for a touchdown to win. This game is going to be amazing. That's all I know. This game is going to be amazing.
Oof. So who you got then?
Jacksonville, because I want Sean McDermott to leave, and it's just going to be really funny.
Fair. You don't think
You just want chaos.
100%. 100% I want chaos.
you don't think Sean McDermott will want to see at least 1 year in the new stadium?
Nah. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No. I think he probably does, but I also think, again, this is probably his best chance to actually get to the Super Bowl. Like I said, there's no Lamar Jackson, there's no Patrick Mahomes. Yes, Mahomes might not even play next year.
There's no Joe Burrow.
Yeah, like the quarterbacks he's facing this year. Let's be realistic. Drake May, potential MVP, but still quite young. Just like Justin Herbert is the only one who can really talk to Josh Allen in this.
And Trevor Lawrence, because Trevor Lawrence has actually won a playoff game.
But again, the Chargers should have won that game. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I think Sean McDermott would like to see that first year, but I also think he'll leave. And I did see somewhere that apparently Buffalo are looking at John Harbaugh, and it's like, if we lose, we'll go get him. So it'll be very Dolphins for Buffalo to lose, Dolphin fans to laugh at them, and then they take John Harbaugh, and it's just like, wait, thanks for that.
Oof. Hey, Dej, what you got on your team?
Well, see the thing is, yeah, the Bills have this thing where we turn up, but we'll turn up in the fourth quarter. But that doesn't mean we should let these games get out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
And from them having the best run defense, I still think Cook will get over 100 yards. But the problem is our tight ends, because they're going to be Josh Allen's safety blanket in this.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one of them, Halls on or Knox, is going to have a very good game. But it's relying on them to have a good game to unlock the running back in James Cook and Davis as well, because Davis is going to be pivotal for us as well.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously I have us winning. But I do hear Kadeem's point with Sean McDermott as well. He would like to see the first year at that stadium. But I think I could speak for most Bills fans and say that if we don't get to that promised land this year, he might just have to go.
Fair.
Because this, like, remember last year when I said, oh, we're just happy to be here. But somehow we won the division and we just done really well. But now, actually, I know this is actually our time now. Because we see what's around. Fair enough, I think our team was somehow better last year than it is this year. But everyone else it's like a similar kind of playing field.
Mm.
There's no like standout champion.
Yeah.
Because as well as Josh Allen is, our run defense is not great.
No.
So there's still checks and balances as well in our squad, which makes us a bit weak in some aspects. But we should still win.
Fair. I mean,
Providing our Titans have a good game.
I like the confidence of you thinking James Cook is going to get 100 yards. Obviously, in
Yeah.
the games he had 100 yards. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember. At one point of the season, I said you lot were like 9-1 or 10-1, something like that. So, and obviously he had the Russian title. But again, the Jags got the best run defense in the NFL. I think their average is it's 86 yards, if I'm not mistaken. It's in the 80s of giving up rushing yards. So yeah, like Kadeem said, Trevor Lawrence he's on the high of his life. He's on his MVP form. The way he's ended the season, he'll get some votes. Obviously, not within the top 2, top 3, maybe third. But he's playing the best football of his life. The team are locked in. Liam Cohen's arguably going to be win Coach of the Year. Hell of a job he's done there. And yeah, like it's weird. Jacoby Myers trade. It didn't make noise, but it seems to have opened up their offense even more. And ETN is running the ball even better. So, yeah, I think
it might be a problem for us.
Yeah. And Trevor's played well against pressure recently as well, which was you know me. I've always been a Trevor guy, but at the beginning of the season, I was like, Trevor Lawrence, I'm done with you. And then he came back. So, yeah, it's a bit of a, Bills hater in me wants to choose the Jags.
But what you should realize is that you lot ain't in this thing right now.
What do you mean?
Just put your hate aside, bro.
Nah, bro, I can't. If Josh Allen wins the Super Bowl, for argument's sake, he's the best quarterback in the world. He has been, blah, blah. You know, Josh Allen's the media's darling. But anyway, scrap that. I want the Jags to win, but my head's going Jags, but my heart's going Bills in this. Or is it the other way around? Anyway, I just think the Bills are going to edge it. I think Kadeem Nagy said a last-minute Josh Allen drive is on the cards.
Yeah.
But do you know what? Yeah, Trevor's got that in his book. He done it against the Chiefs this year. He's had a couple of these moments. So, yeah, like he said, it's going to be the best game of the season. I really can't pick. I mean, best game of the weekend.
A lot of people done it against the Chiefs this year.
Yeah, not the way Trevor Lawrence did it, so you better chill, bro. Jacob, we're just on our second game, literally. So initially we had the first game, which was Patriots Chargers, and then now we're talking about Jags Bills. So you can go with both games on your thoughts and then both your teams. Just to say, in the first game, me and Dej got Patriots, Kadeem got Jags. Chargers. And in the second game, me and Dej got Bills, even though I don't want it. And then Kadeem got Jags. So, yeah.
First game, Patriots. I believe the Patriots will win the game. I think it'll be very close. I think the Chargers can upset them. I think it'll be an upset if the Chargers do win. I'm just going off of, obviously, knowing what Justin Herbert's done in the playoffs, which hasn't been much. It's like, it's a difficult pick to pick them. But their team is looking okay. Obviously, he didn't play last week, so he's going to be well rested. And I feel like Jim Harbaugh will want to just come out and prove something. So I'm going the Patriots, right? But that's only because of what I've seen throughout the course of the season. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers were to take the game. And on the Jags Bills, I think it's inevitable. I think the Jags win the game. I don't think the Bills have enough. I'll be very honest. I think the Jags are actually just an all-round better team. It doesn't matter with the quarterback situation and Josh Allen being able to be Superman. I'm going to go off of what I know. The Bills don't win road games in the playoffs. And this season has followed along some form of like, when you're meant to lose to a team, you lose to them. And that's how it's actually always worked this year. So I'm just going to stick with that. I think the way they're playing right now as well, Trevor Lawrence could outplay Josh Allen. Trevor Lawrence has played well in the playoffs. We've seen him against the Chargers. We've seen him. So he does step up in these big moments. And I think the supporting cast, plus the defense, plus the Jags come to play big games and have this season will be the edge for them. So I think for me, the Jags and the Patriots, but the Chargers could edge it. But Jags definitely.
So
I should just mute his mic. Chatting wild stuff. Wild stuff on the mic, chick. What man coming on?
He made a very valid point, bro. Like, Josh Allen hasn't won on the road in the playoffs. He's 0-4. Obviously, those 3 of them is to Mahomes and 1 to Burrow. But, broski, you get me? Got to win on the road, and that's what he's got to do. So, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like because Josh Allen's like standout best quarterback in the AFC, I think he can win 1 game. I'm gonna give him 1 game, but yeah. Jacob, you want to say something? Go on.
No, also with like I've been seeing a lot of numbers flown about recently about the Bills and Josh Allen's playoff stats and this and that and why they're so high. They're so high because he wins this game usually. Like he usually wins this game. A lot of the other quarterbacks miss this game out. Yeah, a lot of the other quarterbacks just miss his game out. So like when you see playoff records and Josh Allen has more wins than others, it's because he usually has to play this game. The other ones play the AFC Championship game and the game before, and then the Super Bowl. Josh Allen plays all 3. He does play all 3, but he usually wins 2 and then loses a 1. So he plays a lot more games in the playoffs because his team aren't in a position to have the 1 seed or before the 1 and the 2 seed when they used to both get in.
Me and Jacob like to say we're Josh Allen truth tellers. We've had Bills fans call us haters, such as life. That is a super valid point because Josh Allen is always the second or third seed, and he's always playing in the opening wildcard game. Either a rookie quarterback where they just smash at home, or so boy.
This is a change. This is a change. They didn't win their division, so we'll see.
We shall see.
All right.
I do think their comeback against the Patriots will help them in good stead in this game. But hey, different team, like we said. 4 versus 5 matchup. I don't know how they've done it, but the Pittsburgh Steelers have won the AFC North. Mike Tomlin, boy, fair enough. You cannot count out that man. They'll be hosting the outright best defense in the NFL, the Houston Texans. Who wants to hit us off on this game?
Since
This is Mike
Jacob's on
Tomlin's last
smoke.
game in charge.
What?
Steelers fans are sick and tired of him. I think had they lost to the Ravens, he would have gone into the Ravens loss. So Harbaugh went, if he loses to the Texans, which he probably will, I think they go, we need a change. I was in Madrid for the Dolphins Commanders game. I met a few Steelers fans out there, and they were like, we're sick and tired of this. Sick and tired of starting off really, really well, and then like just about going 9-8 or 10-7, and then getting to the playoffs, wild card and losing. They haven't won a playoff game since 2016. 2016. Like, and again, it's you never know what can happen. They could get rid of Mike Tomlin and just start losing. But since Big Ben has gone, since they haven't been able to draft a good quarterback, and I think the Steelers team under Mike Tomlin, they've stagnated so hard. I think the Texans are going to cause Aaron Rodgers fits to the point where he might not come back next year. Tomlin's going to be gone. Like, if this is a close game, it's because Aaron Rodgers gets the ball out really quickly to stop the Texans defense from like really hitting him hard. But I can see this game being Texans win by 3 scores. Like, this is going to be an absolute. This could be the most lopsided game of the weekend.
3 scores. Are you saying 3 scores because the Texans defense are just going to pick sixes, make plays? Because remember their offense, CJ Stroud does not score points this year.
He doesn't, but it's going to be like just short fields, a bunch of short fields. Like, you know, it's going to be, even if the Texans kind of struggle, 3-0 for the Steelers, like they're going to just slowly, you know, just pound on the Steelers, and then to the point where in the fourth quarter, back into the third, start of the fourth, the Steelers have to go through it on fourth down, have to, in their own half, don't get it, and Texans just see the game out. I think if there's a more one-sided game than this game, I'll be so surprised.
Fair. Jacob, you want to go next?
Yeah, I feel like the Texans are the most dangerous team in the AFC in the playoffs right now. And for me personally, I feel like they win the game not by 3 scores, like Kadeem said. I'm not going that far out. I feel like they win the game. I think it'll be a close game because, as much as I don't believe in the Steelers, they're going to Pittsburgh, and I think that plays a factor. I think just the location of the game is going to play a factor in the weather conditions, the fact that Aaron Rodgers is back in the playoffs. This could also be his last game. I don't know if he wants to go out like, you know, looking crazy and looking bad. So I feel like coming off of last week, beating the Ravens, the confidence the Pittsburgh Steelers have gained, TJ Watt being back, their defense kind of looking like, in fact, their defense was not good. Let me not lie to you. The defense made plays in certain spots. But the Houston Texans, for me, are the most dominant team, and I don't think they need good offensive play. They just need okay offensive play output. And as long as that defense turns up, I feel like they are the team to beat currently in the AFC. So yeah, I've got the Houston Texans probably by 1 score just because of what's going on. And I don't think Tomlin loses his job. I think he leaves. I don't think they sack him. I think he leaves because the Steelers have been known not to really sack staff, but I feel like he leaves and takes one of these head coaching jobs that are available to him. They all, you know, they picture it like that. The Falcons or someone like that.
Fair. That is, I think me and you said a couple weeks ago that as long as the Texans score 17, it's going to be hard to beat them. So yeah, obviously for the Steelers, they got DK coming back, which is very big. And they're going to need a big game from their chosen MVP, as they chose Gainwell as their MVP. He's very dynamic. Like you said, Kadeem, Rodgers will get the ball out super quick. So it's just gonna be utilizing those plays from Gainwell off the short yards, DK running after catch, probably Freiermuth making. To be fair, Phelan made some big catches against the Ravens, surprisingly. But yeah, I'm with you guys, Texans. 1 or 2 scores. I just know they're gonna win. Like
It's a
defense.
Texans clean sweep, man.
Yes. But it's weird. Every time we've expected the Steelers to lose, they've won. And when we do expect them to win, they lose. So they've kind of been this team this season and for the last couple of years. But yeah, I think that one Texas clean sweep. Did any more to add on that before moving on to NFC?
Nah, I thought Jacob would come on smoke, but Kadeem, you blew out the park, mate. I
Fair.
didn't think Mike Tomlin was even at risk of anything. I didn't know the fans thought about that, but then again, I don't know any Steelers fans, so hey, learn something new every day.
Games ago, before they went on the win streak, winning 4 of their last 5 or whatever it was, bro, they were booing, they were shouting for Mike Tomlin to leave, bro. So it's been a thing for them in their stadium, and then him and the team shut them up and went on this incredible run, surprisingly.
So very quickly, it's even like former players over the past few weeks have been saying how, like, they were saying they'd be running the same scheme down there since like Jack Ham was playing, which is obviously a massive, like it's not that bad, but it's a very basic scheme. Like it hasn't really evolved that much, and there's like, again, it's time for change. A lot of the draft picks haven't really panned out. Obviously, TJ Watt has and stuff, but it's a team which wins in spite of itself, and I think they're just like, we want to change. We want to be more modern. But again, you know, that could be the worst thing for them. But I think at this point, they just want to roll the dice and see what they get.
Fair. No, I hear it, especially with the coaching.
1 second. Kadeem, question then. If they get rid of Tomlin, who takes over? Who would you like to... I know you're not a Pittsburgh fan. I know you're a Dolphins fan. Who would you like to see in Pittsburgh? Because Aaron Rodgers ideally is not going to be their quarterback either. So who would you want to see? Quarterback wise, would you say draft one and head coach wise?
I could see Brian Flores going back. He was there for a bit. I think that's probably one of the better situations for him. Funny enough, them and the Ravens. In terms of a quarterback, I don't know too much, but it's like it would be like a whole new Steeler that I don't know what I would expect from them, because I think they've had something like 3 head coaches in their entire existence.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a franchise that really makes too many changes. So you will be going in going, hey, this is, a whole new era for Pittsburgh. And yeah, like a Brian Flores, maybe a Chris Shula, really well thought of in LA with the Rams. And then, go give them maybe a Geno Smith for 1 year, and then you go and get someone in 2027. Like, let's see what's about. But yeah,
I mean, they could be one of the teams that go for Malik Willis.
yeah,
Because he looks like he could be a starter. Obviously under LaFleur and stuff like that. To Mike Tomlin's defense, I just feel like the quarterbacks that the Steelers have drafted and the last couple of years of Big Ben have not been valid quarterback play. Like,
but is that not on him as well though? Because like they took Kenny Pickett in the first round,
yeah,
and Mike Tomlin isn't the kind of coach who, I imagine he gets a lot of say on who they draft. Which again, would be one of the problems. It's like he has too much power in this, and if you have too much power in the draft room and it's not working, like Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, like Tomlin and the Steelers should know better.
But on your episode with Charlie just before this Go Time Dolphins, you guys spoke about John Harbaugh. I can't remember what team it was specifically, but I think Charlie made a point of if he goes to this, correct me on the team, if he goes to the team, about the power he's going to have in terms of like who they're going to draft and stuff like that. He's probably going to want to go with that approach. I can't remember the team it was. Ugh.
I can't remember either.
It might have been one of the top teams or like the team.
Was the Browns?
Was it the?
Because the Browns it was the Browns or the Raiders, because the other teams kind of have quarterbacks. The Giants do, the Titans have Cam Ward, the Falcons probably should draft a quarterback. The Cardinals probably should draft a quarterback as well. The Browns is a whole nother conversation.
Or was it a team that's still with a current head coach, and then if they lose in the wild card round?
That would be...
I can't remember. It might have been... I don't know if you guys mentioned the Eagles or if I was listening somewhere else, but yeah, fair. Cool. NFC 2 versus 7 since the Seahawks surprisingly got the 1 seed. Shout out Seattle. To be fair, Jacob did have them making the playoffs. I think maybe even winning the division. I can't remember, but fair play on that shout. Bears Packers. Who wants to go on this one?
I feel like the Bears Packers, yeah. These are 2 of the teams that we all like, innit? And no, what do you mean? Like we spoke about them the whole season, bro. Like we both like those teams. And the thing is, I like what Jordan Love is doing out there. I like what he's doing with that team. I like what Matt LaFleur has done with the team. And the same thing with Chicago. But I think my problem with Chicago is Caleb Williams, yeah, he's a great player. But I feel like his defense has helped him out quite a lot this season. Same thing with his running backs as well. But he's made a play when he needs to make a play. And he surpassed my expectations for the season for him. So, but I still have the Packers coming out with the win here.
What, even in Soldier Field, yeah? The games
Yeah. I have a surprise on the cards.
Yeah, Jacob's like, huh? Do you know what? Let me follow up.
I have a surprise on the cards.
I'll follow up on this. I've actually got the Packers as well. I thought of this one. I don't know. The Bears, I don't know if I can trust them yet in this moment to win this game. Their last couple of games, I've not been impressed. Obviously, it was towards the end of the season, but
they were janky games, bro.
yeah, the shootout in San Francisco, literal NFL shootout before anyone goes crazy. Just like their defense was not good that game. And then the game against the Lions, I had the Lions winning that game. Maybe the Bears went into that game not caring about it as much. But again, they were playing for seed and hence them playing their starters. And they couldn't really move the ball that game until towards the end of the game, like many cases this season where obviously Caleb's been more or less clutch in the fourth quarter. The numbers get inflated then because he's chasing the game and he does great. So fair play to him in that instance. But I don't know, even though it's a home game for them, obviously their rivalry's off the chain. They played 2 close games this season. The Packers should have won the second game. I just feel like with Jordan Love returning, even though there's no Michael Parsons, I've got the Packers with Dej. Jacob, I know you heavily disputed that.
Yeah. Have you guys watched the Packers the last month?
Yeah, like I trust the Packers in these situations regardless. This is their third time being the 7th seed, so it's nothing new to them. Third time in a row, especially with that young team.
There's
Like
some familiarity there
they
still.
know how
No,
to put on in this kind of game.
I get that. I understand that. But I'm also looking at the fact that Jordan Love's coming off the concussion.
Well, they say he could have played last game.
Yeah, his sentence got too lower, bro.
Jordan Love's coming off the concussion. Their defense hasn't looked great these past few weeks. And I'm not confident with the Packers going into the playoffs just because there's no momentum. There's nothing really going for them in this past month. Obviously, the last time they won a game was versus the Bears. And then obviously they lost to them in overtime. They lost to the Ravens. The Ravens run shot all over them. Of course, that's Derrick Henry. The Bears don't have a Derrick Henry, but they do have a great running game. So this is where you have to look in. I'm just taking into consideration what I've seen in the past month and what I'm going to see this week, because the only thing that's going to change really is the quarterback. Everyone else that was there is going to be there.
But
So
the Bears' run game
I'm not
hasn't
saying
been great of recent. It hasn't been like their leading run game the last couple games.
I know it hasn't, but you have, how long do you have this week to sit down, or this literally 10 days to sit down, prepare for this game specifically, and to kind of game plan around what you're doing. And I'm just sitting and look like the Packers defense hasn't been the same since Micah left.
That's true.
Micah's not coming back.
No, I agree.
The Bears have been relatively healthy. So I'm just going for the healthier team, which I think right now have the more confident head coach going into the game. Matt LaFleur obviously going to be confident, but his job has been called for at points in this season. So I'm going for the more confident head coach, the more confident looking team, the team that's going with momentum. I know they lost to the Lions, but the team is going in with more like pep in their step. So I'm going for the Bears.
Sure.
The Bears are the New England Patriots of the NFC. As in, they haven't really beaten anyone this year. And I wanted to double check. So, since start of the season, they lose to the Vikings, and the Vikings stinks. They lost 52-21 to the Lions, and the Lions had a bad season. But they beat the Cowboys. They beat the Raiders by 1. They beat the Commanders by 1. They beat the Saints, but they then lose to the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Bengals in that amazing game.
Yep.
They beat the Giants by 4, beat the Vikings by 2, beat the Steelers by 3. They did beat the Eagles, so fair play. They then lose to the Packers. They then humiliate the Browns, but the Browns aren't that good. They beat the Packers, but they lose to the 49ers, and they lose to the Lions. The Bears, again, they're a good team, but I also think they are a team still trying to find out what they have this season. I think this game could go either way. I think the Packers at the 7th seed aren't that strong, but I think this is a Bears team. I have no idea what team is going to turn up. If I were to pick one, it would be the Bears. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Jordan Love and the Packers find a way to win by like, 10, 13 points. Again, this would be a really fun game. And the Bears are in no way a bad team, but uh, more often than not this season, when they've had to play a good team, they've lost, which doesn't really bode well. And especially if you're going into the playoffs on the back of a 2-game losing streak, not really ideal. But again, anything can happen. Home field advantage, so we'll see.
Kadeem, would you not say that is very, very similar with the Packers? If you look at their schedule also. They obviously beat the Lions, then they beat the Commanders, then they lost to the Browns, then they drew with the Cowboys, they beat the Bengals, they beat the Cardinals, they lost to the Panthers, they lost to the Eagles, they beat the Giants, they beat the Vikings, they beat the Lions, but they beat the Bears, they lost to the Broncos, they lost to the Bears, they lost to the Ravens, they lost to the Vikings. Like, they haven't really beaten anyone good either.
Yeah, agreed. And that's the thing. You've got, I'm not going to call either of them frauds, but you do have two teams where it's like, you guys will probably win this week and lose the next week. So, enjoy your playoff win. And, I feel like for the Bears, it might be a year too early to make the playoffs. For the Packers, it's injuries. Injuries start to kind of take effect. But, yeah, like, I reckon it'll be like a high-scoring, entertaining game or a low-scoring, dull game, which obviously kind of how it works. But, yeah, I just think, like I said, if I had to pick one, probably the Bears, only because it's home field advantage. I think that if you play this game in Lambeau, I think the Packers probably win it. So, yeah.
50-50 game.
Yeah.
Fair.
Well, very quickly, the interesting thing, and again, it's just a rumour, but the rumour is that the Packers lose, they'll move on from the head coach. But again, it's only because they want John Harbaugh. So there's quite a few teams who, because again, I think one of the reports is that there are teams in the playoffs in the wild card who are looking at John Harbaugh going, hey, we will go and get you. And apparently one of those teams is the Packers. So, LaFleur could be playing for his future.
If that was the case, if LaFleur goes to the Ravens, I think the Ravens get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that actually. About those two teams basically swapping head coach. So the only thing, like, obviously with the Packers in terms of their ownership, it's fan owned, so depends on that particular dynamic. For John Harbaugh. 3 versus 6, the defending Super Bowl champions Philadelphia Eagles hosting the San Francisco 49ers. Who wants to kick us off?
I think the 49ers take this. The Eagles are the most polarizing team in the NFL in terms of they've got like a Madden Ultimate Team, like, team. It's amazing. And yet they hate their head coach, cannot stand him. And I feel like they're playing in spite of him. It's like, hey, we don't want to hear you talk, but we want to win games. So I think the 49ers win because they're just a more cohesive unit from top to bottom, including coaching staff and stuff like that. But I would not be surprised if the Eagles just pound on the 49ers because they've got, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley. That defense is still amazing. Like, it'll be a really fun game. But the Eagles, that franchise and their coaching staff, clean up, man. Like, it is insane. Absolutely insane.
One thing I'll add to that is I do think the Eagles will win. And I feel like the show's been going on to reach this kind of moment where all this drama that has been going on is just going to make sure that they just win this match and they win the next match. So I just feel like this is the way they find their juice to just win their matches.
Yeah, no, I'm in a tough spot. I think the 49ers getting the Eagles is their worst nightmare. Because they don't have a defense that's healthy right now. Whereas the Eagles' defense is their strong point. and the 49ers offense is their strong point, but the Eagles offense can come to play. And that's the thing. Like when you have players like Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown and Devonta Smith with Jalen Hurts, which we know turns up in the playoffs, it's a dangerous combination and it's a dangerous game for the 49ers. So I'm going to go for the 49ers just because of what I've seen towards the back end and I believe in what I'm seeing. But it wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles win the game. Like I believe in my man Shanahan. That is the best coach in the NFL. I believe he's going to scheme up some stuff for them, and he's going to be they're going to be in a position to win the game.
Bro,
But
I thought you were going to choose the Eagles when you were landing
Bro,
it.
you know what he's like, bro. You know what he's like.
He done the reverse on me. That's a rare play, Uno.
He's been doing the reverse the whole season.
No, you just have to give everyone props. You get what I mean? The Eagles are a serious team, but they haven't been showing me so much unseriousness throughout the year. And as Kadeem said, the coaching they don't even like their head coach. So it's like you don't know if they're playing for him, if they're not playing for him, if they want him out, if they want him in. So I'm sitting there going, the 49ers, at least everyone believes it's next man up. That's how the franchise works.
Yep.
With the Eagles, we're still trying to figure out their identity.
This is how they're fooling everyone, though. They're fooling everyone. They're fooling everyone to think that, we're dead. We're dead team. I don't want to throw to my receivers. I don't like our head coach. Look how many stories have come out about this team in the past year. I feel like they're using that to pull wool over our eyes. Then they're just going to give us some sort of masterclass. I don't know how, but I just think that they're doing a show business thing.
I mean, I won't go that far. I agree with most of your premise on them because I feel there is genuine issues. Like even when Sirianni was celebrating, when they were walking back to the changing room from the Bills game, AJ Brown looked at him like, "Yeah, this guy," and that's probably been like the mantra across the rest of the squad regarding Sirianni. But then the credit to the Eagles is, like they said, they've been here, they've done this. They get on with chaos like no other. Like, I don't understand this team. I don't think I've seen a team like this in any sport. Just get on with it and just play. And I just feel like their defense is going to be too much for the 49ers because we've obviously said which teams in the AFC, for instance, are the best defenses in the NFL. But right now, the Eagles are playing like the best defense in the NFL. That defense is absolutely tremendous. Like on the episode after the Bills game, like Jacob, I said to you, I was in awe of the Eagles defense performance. There was, Kadeem, I was saying there was one 3-and-out drive on the Bills that I stood up and I applauded. It's like they hunted Josh Allen, they hunted the running back, and they stopped a pass, and I was like, wow, that was amazing. And I feel like they've beaten the good teams this season. They've obviously lost games they shouldn't have, but they're so used to beating good teams in tight games, whether that be 10-7, 13-10, the Eagles will find a way. And yeah, like Jacob said, when I thought he was going to pick them, Jalen Hurts steps it up in the playoffs. So, I've got the Eagles in this game.
Same.
He does. It just reminds me of 2 years ago when they were on their mad win streak and then everything fell apart. I feel like it's one of them years for them. I feel like the Eagles can go one great year, one bad year, one great year, one bad year. And it just, for me, I just feel like that's how they are, obviously.
Fair. No, I hear it. Plus the games in Philly, I feel they'll take this one. I just don't feel the 49ers, even though the Eagles' offense can be so stale, they can actually pick apart this 49ers defense as well. 4 versus 5. Your team, the Carolina Panthers, Jacob, are hosting arguably the best team in the LA Rams. Obviously, they didn't get the 1 seed, but since it's your team, Jacob, you're going to go last on this one. And they're just going to go first because that was the case in the Bills.
As much as I hate to say it, yeah, Matt Stafford could potentially get MVP. As much as I hate to say it. But
hold on, why do you hate to say it?
Because you know how I feel about Stafford anyway.
Nah, yeah. They're generally keen on him.
Nah. But and they're coming to play, man. But good if I'm Carolina to get to the playoffs though, because I don't think I had them going to playoffs at the start of the season.
Well, I think hardly anyone did in the world.
So I guess we can say that they're outperforming their expectations, and this is just where they go home.
I mean, credit to them. They've recently beaten the Rams. Fairly
They have.
recently.
But playoff lights are different. But it is wild cards. So they don't call it that for no reason.
Wild card weekend. I'll quickly follow up on this. I've got the Rams. Devontae Adams is back. Stafford is back in his MVP form. And I just think the Rams defense, it's time for you to act up again like you were one of the best defenses for most of the season until the last couple of weeks. Been quite poor, including the Carolina game. So yeah, they'll be annoyed they're on the road, but again, that NFC West division was just unreal. It was fake, absolute joke. So they're just gonna have to bite the bullet. And again, they're one of the teams I've said throughout not just the NFC but in the whole playoffs that I've actually got confidence in them playing on the road in any type of game. So in this particular game, it's very easy for me to pick the Rams.
Yeah, unless you're a Panthers fan, and even then, to me, it's the Rams. Like, how the Panthers are there in the first place is a whole other conversation. But I think it's going to be a step too far for the Panthers. The Rams, probably alongside the Jacksonville Jaguars, the best team in the NFL. And yeah, the Rams, like, there's no point in really expanding further. Like, I think the Panthers will make it close. I think Bryce Young will do well, but I think the Rams defense will pick him off once or twice. And the game will I think the Panthers will lose the game because the Rams will win the turnover battle. But again, it'll be a fun, exciting game.
Yeah, they go get revenge in terms of the turnover battle because that's where the Panthers had them the last time. The Panthers defense surprisingly went crazy in that game. So, but yeah, Jacob, your team.
Not surprising. That's not surprising. Don't worry, it's not surprising. You not see us. You see us against the 49ers. You see us when we're ready to play. We're ready to play, and we're going to be ready to play. Trust me, we are going to be ready to play.
I mean, you guys were back on Falcons beating the Saints.
Hey, look, sometimes in life, good things have to happen. You have to be lucky to get in. And you see, that's all it takes. You got to be in it to win it. We're in it. And we're going to win it. Not the Super Bowl. We're going to win this game. That's the first things first. The first things first, we're going to win the game. See how the turnover battle went last time? They had 3 turnovers. Matt Stafford threw 2 interceptions, 1 fumble lost. That is not like him. Uncharacteristic, you would say. I saw him against the Falcons. I saw him doing that. I feel like Matt Stafford, tail end of the season, the back is hurting him again. And I hope the back is hurting him again when he comes to play us, because I feel like that is what's going to win us the game. Bryce Young's going to have a hell of a game. I'm already ready. I know he's prepared. I feel like 2 touchdowns. Look, we're ready. Just be ready for me to come on here. It's celebration time.
Bro, I feel like you before you've recorded, you've gone in the mirror and you've gashed yourself up. Not winning this game.
I knew you came out of smoke when you started speaking about the Bills.
I promise you, we are winning this game. The Bills are different, Dej. You've been complaining about them all season. We're not meant to be. I've been complaining
about them.
You guys
I knew you'd be
on
smoke with the way you're speaking about them.
Yeah, but you're meant to win. We are not meant to win, and this is what I'm trying to say. When you're not meant to win, people come and play you like you're not meant to win. And this is what the Rams did last time. Devontae Adams was there last time. He's going to be here this time. He's going to be here a little less of himself with that hamstring. I'm telling you now.
He's fine. You saw his warm up last game.
That
was running at speed.
That don't mean a damn thing. I've done my hamstring and warmed up well, got into the game, my hamstring gone. I'm telling you now.
Like you said, the NFL injections is different to the injections here, bro.
They're right. You're right. They are. But it's not going to help them. It's not going to help them. Trust me. The Panthers are in this to win this. And it's a playoffs. It's a playoffs. Anything can happen.
I rate your heart and your confidence. I know it's your heart really talking in this one.
31-28. That's what we're winning. Again, same scoreline.
Hey.
Boy, oh boy.
Check it out.
Do you know what? I guess that's a great way to segue quickly. We're going to quickly talk about our MVP. and then we'll segue into the teams that are coachless at the moment and the coaching carousel before we wrap up. MVP, who have you got? Deji.
Well, call me bias. Call me bias. Jackson Halls.
What?
I can't hear him.
I can't hear you, Dej.
Oh, Jackson Halls, Bills, tight end, rookie.
No, we're talking about the NFL MVP.
Oh, sorry. I jumped the gun. JSN.
Which MVP you talking about?
Yeah, tight end. Like,
Wait,
He's
what?
not even Bill's
I
rookie.
was thinking about rookie of the year.
Wait,
that's insane. That is insane.
Let's
Even that one, that's insane. But we're talking about the NFL MVP.
So for me, JSN.
what is going on?
JSN.
I'll tell you why it's JSN for me.
That's my
They'd stop watching it. They'd stop watching in week 7. They'd stop watching in week 7. You ain't watch the game.
Let me tell you why, first of all. Because I never expected Seattle Seahawks to do anything of what they've done this season, even with Sam Darnold there.
Go
Ain't
on.
that bad?
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it, bro.
Bomba. Rah. I don't even know what kind of moment we've had there, but I mean, JSN led the lead in receiving yards, but you could argue that Puka was the best wide receiver in football because he ended up basically near enough matching him. And JSN, we've been giving him bells all season. Like, that's my guy because he's Sierra Leonean. But JSN for MVP, that ship sailed a long time ago when Sam Darnold could not get him the ball, mates.
Not to mention this at all, no, whether we like it or not, the MVP goes to quarterbacks.
Yeah, like
It goes
he's got to have a historic season to even be in the conversation.
The
There's just
only
gonna be sack
non-quarterback who could win MVP is Myles Garrett because he broke the sack record and he won't win it. So,
And he can't win it just because the Browns' record is so bad. It didn't even affect winning.
yeah.
Yeah, the only way JSN would have had a sniff if he beat Megatron's receiving yard record, and that obviously fell short. Jacobson just
Wait. Dej, who did you say first when Joe asked you about the MVP? Sorry.
No, I said Jackson Halls, innit?
he feels
But for what?
I thought you said I was thinking about rookie of the year.
That's still a crazy shout anyway.
Yeah, I said that's going to be
Because
biased.
it's Ted McMillan. Like,
That's not a bad shout.
It was meant to be biased. Well, for me.
Okay, well, yeah. I think it's Wessinger, but yeah. MVP for me is I'm gonna give it to Matt Stafford, and I'm probably gonna be biased in the Matt Stafford just because it's not biased, but he has done everything this year, right? At his very tender age, he has done everything. I feel like to close the chapter on his career, to take the MVP from him at this point. I know we don't want to give the MVP a gift it, but hey, we did it last year, so let's do it again this year. So I say we may as well gift Matt Stafford his MVP. Drake, I think personally, he's had a harder schedule. He's done more. I understand that he's done more touchdowns wise. Obviously, they want to say, oh, Drake May's done more because the Patriots were this and now they're that. But that comes into head coach being changed. That comes into adding people like a wide receiver like Stephon Diggs, having a whole culture change and culture shift in the Patriots building. So for me personally, I feel like Stafford has had the best season. I think he's been the best quarterback throughout this season.
Mhm.
And I think let's go back to what we were doing it. Best quarterback is all pro, and the best quarterback is also the MVP. Let's not do splitting and changing how the award is given. I know we did it for 1 year, but let's just go back to normality and let's give it to Matt Stafford. Drake May's got a long career ahead of him. I believe he'll win one. I just don't feel like for strength of schedule and who he's played, I don't feel like he's done enough for me to overtake Matt Stafford. So Matt Stafford for me is MVP. JSN, great season, but Dej, I think you start watching NFL very early.
Yeah, this MVP conversation is literally between Matt Stafford and Drake May.
I didn't want to say Stafford, man, but
Kadeem, there was a point Jacob made towards the end that's just gone up my mind, and I wanted to ask you a question. Oh my gosh.
What was it on?
I can't remember. My mind's gone
Strength of
blank.
schedule? Strength of schedule?
No, it was just before that.
Last year, gifting MVPs?
Yes, thank you very much. Kadeem, last year, what did you think, before we go back to Stafford May, what did you think about Jacob saying like them splitting the all pros? So Lamar was first team all pro, Josh Allen was second team, but Josh Allen winning MVP.
I think it was an absolute. I don't know how Josh Allen won MVP last year. Like legit, it was. It can't be in stats wise. Like I don't know what it was. Like, fair play to Josh Allen for winning it. Like he had a good season, but Lamar had was like 41
and 4.
41 and 4, and Josh Allen's throwing and rushing touchdowns didn't even get to Lamar's 41 touchdowns. So, and like, honestly, that's not even me hating. That's just me saying Lamar Jackson was the best quarterback that year, stats wise, just his overall play.
One of the most historic seasons in NFL history in terms of passer rate and everything.
Yeah, this year again.
Before you go to this year, what on the part 2 of that? How did you feel about them splitting the all pros and then MVP? Like, did you
all pros and stuff like that really don't bother me. Like, it's just cool, good for you. Again, a lot of these awards to me don't make much sense as it is. Like, you know, MVP is best quarterback. They should rename it to best quarterback because unless you have an historical season, it means nothing whatsoever. So, yeah, like MVP, all pros, what's the other one? The Pro Bowl, all that kind of stuff. It's not a popularity contest, but it's just like, sure, whatever. Look.
The Pro Bowl is crap because Joe O played 6 games this season and he was a Pro Bowler. That's absolute nonsense.
Jordan Brooks didn't make it. Like, probably the best linebacker in football.
Yeah.
Aaron Brewer, probably the best center in football, didn't make it. Like, okay, cool, whatever. So
Ravens players made it. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
The Pro Bowl is crap. All Pro, I do like All Pro, but Pro Bowl is crap. Absolute nonsense. Yeah. And they need to, just like the NBA, all these organizations, they need to really do their votes at the end of the season. It's not hard. Stop giving final votes before the season's finished when there's 2-3 games left. It doesn't make sense in the NFL. And we've seen that in the NBA as well. Cool. Is it me? Or oh no, Kadeem Pot. Yeah, that's it. Your MVP, sorry.
I'd give it to Matt Stafford. I know the whole strength of schedule stuff. Again, it's not Drake May's fault that he's played who he's played. It's not. And there's like advanced metrics that go in favor of Drake May. There's advanced metrics that go in favor of Matt Stafford. Like, but I just think, yeah, again, it's not Drake May's fault, but they beat up on cupcake teams. And Matt Stafford has to play harder teams. So just in the fact that he's had harder games to play, like Drake May having, was it 5 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns against the Jets?
5.
That's not an achievement. That is not an achievement whatsoever. So great, well done. You did what you had to do. You took care of business. I can't give you the MVP for that. Like, but again, that's just my opinion. Again, in an award which it's lost its meaning years ago.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I'm with Jacob and Kadeem, Matt Stafford. I said to Jacob, I do think Drake may close the gap the last couple of weeks, given how Matt Stafford play. I did think the gap was quite big in that sense, but Stafford finishing the season with 46 touchdowns and 8 interceptions is just an absolute joke of a season. I think everyone that's done that has won MVP. I think Drew Brees is the only person with 45 plus touchdowns that hasn't won MVP, but that's because
Is that Peyton Manning had 55?
maybe
Is that not that
maybe,
year?
maybe you might be right. And then there was another quarterback. It might have been Drew Brees. No, I think it was Drew Brees that had 46 or so, but Aaron Rodgers had 45. So yeah, like obviously, yeah. Matt Stafford again. Strength of schedule plays a part. The Patriots, like we said at the beginning of the episode, they've played the worst schedule in the NFL. Again, that's not their fault, but hey, when they played against playoff teams, the numbers haven't been the same. Whereas Stafford's numbers have been pretty consistent against the great teams as well this season. Um, um, and I think narrative-wise, kind of similar to what Jacob was saying, because he is at the back end of his career, I think narrative-wise, they'll give it to him. Not to say he deserves it for it, but they'll give it to him because of that part. And coming into the season, we didn't know if Stafford will be healthy. Like, Stafford did not have an off-season. He's backwards. He had a back injury throughout the whole of the off-season. They were considering other quarterbacks or the conversation in that sense. So, and he just came out looking, he's just been superb this season. Best throw of the ball this season as well, in that sense. So that's our MVPs. All right, before we wrap up, I'm just going to quickly name the current teams that haven't got a head coach. And we don't need to touch up on all of them, but you guys could just throw where you think potential coaches should go or would go. So the teams without head coaches are the Ravens, Giants, Browns, Titans, Raiders, Falcons, Cardinals, and today Kadim's Dolphins let go of Mike McDaniel. Jacob, at the beginning of the episode, I was saying I was watching Go Time Dolphins just before this, and the Dolphins fan base seem to be quite unanimous in being happy that Mike McDaniel got the sack. And we've
happy.
we've spoke about this, and
Delighted. They are delighted. Like,
Are
genuinely.
you delighted?
I'm not delighted, no. Like, it's been at the start of the season, there were planes saying Greer and McDaniel need to go. That's at the start of this season. There's been a vocal fan base, a vocal part of the fan base who wanted McDaniel gone since the 2023 season when we lost to the Chiefs in the playoffs. They've wanted him gone since then. And you've now had back-to-back losing seasons. Once Chris Greer win, they were like, he has to go as well. Has to go. So yeah, like, I'm one of very few Dolphins fans who aren't jumping for joy about this. Like, it is insane. Crazy.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with it.
Jacob, you're going to inform me on this one because we're so aligned on this.
Yeah, like that's mad. I believe Mike McDaniel is one of, like, offensive minds anyway, top coaches in the NFL. I feel like it was Tua that was holding him back. You can see that in the last, when he said Uwa's in there, you can see the scheme and that the plays, and that he obviously went to running with Tua in there, that he wants to run. And I felt like that was kind of the perfect kind of scheme for what the Dolphins needed to do. And I felt like they were going to get rid of Tua, just eat the cap money, and keep Mike McDaniels and go ahead with either Ewers or bring in another quarterback. So seeing the Dolphins fans happy about it, I'm like, where do you want to go next? Because who's on the market for you that you think is going to help out your offense? Because unless you want a defensive coach coming in, Tua's still going to be there. So what have they done? Have they gone, okay, cool, Mike McDaniel's out and Tua's going to come back in, even though Tua said the other day that he's looking for a fresh start and he was happy to want to be traded. But I don't think there's a team out there for him either. So I want to know what kind of the Dolphins fans, the ones that are elated, are thinking. Because who do you want? Kevin Stefanski?
Some have genuinely said anyone. They didn't care who. And I was like, name someone. No, I'm not, like, anyone. Give me any coach. Anyone. Once John Harbaugh became available, that was like you have to go get him. Have to. Especially, so the Tua situation is quite interesting because some fans won't even admit just how good the Dolphins were in 2023. Like, that Tua and McDaniel, they just tore the league apart that year. Then the injuries happened, all that kind of stuff. One of the many issues with McDaniel is that he couldn't win without Tua. So even if Tua was the issue, he couldn't win without Tua. Brian Flores had the exact same issue. You might not like Tua, but he knows how to win in this league. So you had that. Be it, and again, these aren't good quarterbacks, but Teddy Bridgewater, Skylar Thompson, Tyler Huntley, Quinn Ewers, all ended up with losing records under Mike McDaniel. So Dolphin fans were like, it's not even like he was winning with backups. So yes, they're backups, but if you get another quarterback, there's nothing in Mike McDaniel's history that shows he knows how to win without Tua. Plays were routinely coming in, late, so Dolphins were burning timeouts. Just an ill-disciplined team. So yeah, once Harbaugh became available, he's who everyone wants. Everyone. Like, he is the de facto go and get him. And some believe the reason the Dolphins fired McDaniel, especially once Harbaugh became available, is because they tried to get Jim in like 2011 and they still had a head coach. And everyone was like, you can't do that. Stephen Ross met up with Jim in California, and then everyone found out. They gave Tony Sperano a new 2-year contract and then fired him into that first year. So some people believe it's more a case of, even if we don't get Harbaugh, we couldn't try and get him with Mike McDaniel still in the building. It's also very telling that on Monday the Dolphins announced the 6 new GMs they were going to try and get. And I was like, okay, cool, these are the 6. On Tuesday, I think it was, hours before Harbaugh got fired, the Dolphins announced they were going to interview Chad Alexander from the Chargers, who currently works with Jim, but has experience being in the same building as John. And everyone was like, so, and then hours later, you get John's being let go by the Ravens. And Dolphin fans are like, this isn't a coincidence. Like, there's too much smoke here to not have everyone thinking Chad Alexander's going to be the new GM, Harbaugh's going to be the head coach, and they're just going to try and work it out. But whether Tua stays or not, no one knows. But right now, Dolphins fans are having. If you're a Dolphins fan and you live in Miami, or you're a Hurricanes fan, you've got the Canes in the playoffs, you've just fired Mike McDaniel, and you might get John Harbaugh. You are living life right now.
This is interesting, though. This is very interesting, because I did say to myself at one point, maybe Lamar and Harbaugh have a great relationship, and maybe Lamar, obviously Harbaugh's gone. If Harbaugh goes to Miami, Lamar goes, oh, I actually like this guy, and says, trade me, and goes to Miami. He's
go
from
home,
there.
Yeah.
That's also something that you could think about as obviously a Dolphins fan. But that's interesting you said that, because obviously when I was reading reports and listening to things, they kept on saying there was more teams interested than the amount of teams that didn't have head coaches. So obviously now, that's obviously now the Dolphins have sacked Mike McDaniels. That must have been one of them. And I feel like throughout this playoffs, we could have a load of head coach changes, because if the Bills don't win, I feel like they got to get rid. The Bengals should have got rid anyway, but they want to stay with what they're doing. So happy days. They're going to be losing franchise. If the Eagles want to continue on with what they want to do, that's fine. Their players may not like it. They win, so they can do that.
Quick one.
Go true.
On that, the 2 teams you've named, that Eagles and Bills, I think it might have been yesterday or maybe this morning, I saw that apparently John Harbaugh has delayed talks for a week. And some people think it's because he's waiting to see if Eagles, Bills, for instance, losing the wild card.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
right.
But obviously,
and I think John Harbaugh's in his 60s.
Yeah, he's 62, 63. But he can choose any team, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think if you're in your 60s and you want a job security, and I feel like, and you're like, chill job security, I go to Miami too, because they ain't sacking you for no one right now. They know their franchise is a mess right now. You get to go and live in Miami. You get to kind of be the main guy there and make all changes that you want to make. And I feel like coming from a place like the Ravens, where he's had all control, basically, he'll want to go somewhere else and have all control. So I feel like he's the head coach in the market.
Stephen Ross will make him the highest paid head coach, like without a doubt. Like he got, and also Stephen Ross spends in free agency. Like if Harbaugh wants to spend money, he will get that money. What's interesting is that the Lions, while we're recording, Rap Sheet said that the Lions have reached out to Mike McDaniel to be the new OC, and I was one of those fans saying, listen, Mike McDaniel's had a mixed career in Miami, but that offensive mind, you can't just get rid of it because he's a dangerous, like he's probably a better OC than a head coach. But also, a lot of Dolphin fans look back at Dan Campbell and go, we should have kept him. And I've made it clear over and over and over again. Miami fans would have ran Dan Campbell out of Miami if he started the way he did. So, yeah, like I said,
I mean, when I saw the Mike McDaniel news, initially yesterday, I was like, the Chiefs should go for Cliff Kingsbury as the new OC. But hey, if Mike McDaniel does not get a head coaching job, the Chiefs better do everything they can to get Mike McDaniel.
Tyreek Hill has already said on Twitter, Mike McDaniel does not run a scheme that the Chiefs will like. Literally, it's because I felt, someone was like, hey, yeah, go get Mike McDaniel. And Tyreek Hill was like, nah, that ain't going to work.
But I don't mind that because I feel like the Chiefs need something completely different on offense. And it's something I've been saying for a while. Just going on to the Ravens, I've seen a tweet not too long ago. They interviewed Broncos DC Vance Joseph today, and they've requested to interview Brian Flores from the Vikings DC, Seahawks OC Clint Kubiak, Chiefs OC Matt Nagy, surprisingly, 49ers DC Robert Saleh, and the Dolphins DC Anthony Weaver. And I think I saw earlier that they're going to reach out to Brian Flores. Or did I say Brian Flores? I did say Brian Flores, so yeah.
Yeah. The Ravens need an offensive head coach. They don't need no defensive head coach.
A lot of people think they need a defensive head coach with a good OC.
They need, unless your OC is going to be Mike McDaniel, then you need an offensive head coach because you need to get the best out of Lamar. And then you need to get rid of your Zakoa and hire a real defensive coordinator. That's what you need to do. And get rid of some players.
Lamar's won MVP two MVPs last, 5-6 years under two different offensive coordinators. Is it really that as much?
No, I'm not saying this for the case of Lamar. I just think the way the NFL is going, I feel like you have a good offensive coach or a better offensive coach, and then you have the pieces around to make up what else is going on. Because if you see the teams that have won recently, not the Eagles, for instance, I don't even know what Sirianni actually is. But does he play cool for the? No, I'll be honest.
No,
I don't know.
He took over some play. It's weird because the OC who name's gone out of my mind is someone that's close to him. So they were saying for a period of time, it seemed like Sirianni took over the play calling and then gave it back. You're right. I genuinely don't know.
Yeah. Then you look at Andy Reid, offensive mind. Do you get what I mean? You look at, for instance, Shanahan, offensive mind.
But the flip side is the team that you think is the best in the NFL, the Seahawks. They got the Ravens DC as their head coach. Obviously, their OC Clint Kubiak is on the list to be interviewed by the Ravens. But if they brought in a very good defensive-minded head coach with a very skilled offensive coordinator,
I just look at Aaron Glenn as I'm seeing. Obviously, went to the Jets, but DC gone to the Jets. Look at what's going on. I look at Ben Johnson, OC gone to the Bears. Look what's gone on. It's like I feel like you can in this NFL anyway. It's more about offense and defense. You need a good defense, but I think it's the players more than it's actually the defense in Baltimore.
I just feel like with the best quarterbacks that you could come in, that a good, stable, defensive-minded head coach is good for them as long as they've got a good offensive play caller, offensive coordinator. I don't think Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Burrow, and whoever anyone wants to add, those four in particular, I don't feel they need an offensive genius as a head coach, for instance. I just feel they need a good offensive coordinator, and they'll do the rest. Like, obviously, it's easier said than done. But
did Mahomes in that category as well?
Yeah. Obviously, Mahomes is different because he's got Andy Reid. Andy Reid is used to playing calls in that sense. But you can see the Chiefs' offense has really stagnated since Bieniemy left, and they even called back Bieniemy in the playoffs. Was it last year or the year before? So it's like Nagy, he needs to go. I don't know how he's getting these head coaching interviews, but that's not my problem. I just want him gone, and we need to capitalize on that. There was talks that John Harbaugh might go to the Giants, though.
He was seen as the favorite at one point.
Yeah.
But again, they're saying that he might want his own GM. Now, they could get rid of who they have at the moment, but who knows?
They should get rid of who they have, to be honest, if they're going to get Jim.
Well, the Giants are, well, the GM obviously drafted okay. He drafted okay. He signed Russ, which was a mistake. There was kind of a bridging the gap kind of quarterback. Jameis is good around the building. The Giants ain't been good in so damn long that it don't matter. I don't think John Harbaugh is going to go there and change life.
Fair.
No, he could be the one to start a little revolution, though.
A lot of people think John Harbaugh will be good for a team that needs a culture change, for instance, like one of these up-and-coming young quarterbacks. Realistically, when he got to the Ravens, not that they needed a culture change, but...
I got a picture to paint for you guys, though.
Huh?
I got a picture to paint for you guys.
Go on.
Let's just say, for argument's sake, he goes to the Giants, yeah? Do you think he can do what Matt Vrabel's done for the Patriots?
Nah, they have a quarterback as in like a serious quarterback. They also have pieces around their team that make them good.
But I feel like the Giants turns out to be some maverick.
Matt Vrabel's got Josh McDaniel, bro. This is where people don't like. In terms of Drake May conversation, Josh McDaniel might win Assistant Coach of the Year. He's looking like he's the favorite, bro. So that's a Super Bowl champion within itself. Jacob, do you want to elaborate on that? Because I was going to ask another team question.
No, it's cool. Go on.
What do you guys think of the Falcons' job in general? Forget John Harbaugh going there, but the Falcons' job in general.
It's a volatile place, man. I feel
Attractive.
like
it's an attractive job.
Very attractive, yeah, but I feel like it can be a one and done situation if you take it.
Do you guys think Raheem Morris was fairly undone though?
Yeah.
I think so.
No, because of what this year in the division they're in this year, they have the most talented team. They should win the division every year with this type of squad. I feel like they underachieved. I feel like he wasn't given enough time, but then I can't say that because enough time is whatever the NFL game, whatever your team decides to give you.
2 years and back-to-back years, 8 and 9. In that division.
You know, if you look, I think he was on his way to building something, but when you have pieces and you know you got Kirk Cousins, I know it probably wasn't your decision to sign him, but that is your $50 million quarterback. You then have Penix Jr., who was injury prone, but coming out of college is going to be injury prone in the NFL. So, like, these are decisions that you have made at the end of the day. So I feel like they're just going, you know what, it's not going to work out here, but I don't know if it's going to work out I don't know what they're looking for. In my head, they've got a very talented team, very attractive team to go and coach. Atlanta's a place people probably want to live. But they were too up and down. So I feel like him getting sacked was necessary because of the performances over the past 2 years. And whoever comes in next, they don't need a culture change. They probably do, in fact. Yeah, they just need a different voice.
Then maybe that's something for Harbaugh to bring his culture. Kadeem, I feel like you shook your head that the Falcons really isn't the place to go to.
You got Bijan and Kyle Pitts, but Kyle Pitts is a free agent. You got no first-round draft pick this year.
You got Drake London as well, though.
So yeah, Drake London, but you also don't have a quarterback. So at the very least, you've got Michael Penix coming off what 2 season-ending injuries, and Kirk Cousins. So you need a quarterback, but you aren't getting one this year because, like I said, you have no first-round pick. So it's a very weak division. But if you don't have a quarterback, like, what are we doing out here? So yeah, like, it's not a horrible job, but I don't think it's as attractive as people make out to be.
Would you not say Atlanta is a place that people, with players that are in jobs in Kyler Murray, for instance, would want to go to? If Kyler Murray goes there, I think he's instantly the best quarterback in that division.
Nah, I won't say he's the
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
You guys, Baker was good at the start, and then he turned into what we've been seeing for these last 4 or 5 years, bro. He weren't good for he was good for 6 games.
Nah, Baker's not as an excuse, but he's legit playing with an injury, like with a shoulder injury.
Speaking
And
as a Panthers fan, look at him.
like, I don't think Kyler Murray's better than Baker Mayfield. Anyway, me personally.
But
I'm just trying to throw out a player. Malik Willis could go there. I feel like, the squad around whoever you get as a quarterback will elevate the quarterback more than the quarterback elevating the squad. I think
I agree.
that will.
I feel like the Falcons, their talent on defense, they made big plays on defense. Like, obviously, they just lost some ridiculous games and in the fashion that they did. But again, their offensive talent is one of the better ones. Obviously, if Kyle Pitts is to stay, but Bijan within himself, a lot of people tend to call him the best player in football. Do you know what I mean? So that's a big weapon itself. But yeah, I just wanted to get you lot's thoughts on the Falcons because I feel like they're an interesting one. If they can get it right, they can be a dangerous team for a long time.
You know who I can see going to that team? What head coach? Sirianni.
Why'd you say that?
I say, well, look at Siri trying to act mad. But I feel like this situation for the Falcons is almost like a baby situation of the Eagles because they kind of have the pieces there, yeah. But I feel like they just need someone to get the most efficiency out of them, innit?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Sirianni can do that with his track record. I feel like there'll be more people that are willing that will buy into what he wants to do. So hopefully that could have a positive impact on that squad because it's not really a case of getting a whole new personnel. It's just 1 or 2 tweaks and I think they'll be all right.
Fair. That's, of course, if the Eagles lose in the first round and then the Eagles sack Sirianni.
Yeah, and if show business is over.
For him to be available. Cool. I guess cool. Anyone on the coaching carousel? Because we can go to a quick song of the week and then wrap it up.
No point of
there's
mentioning Stefanski. It's done out here.
No, I think Stefanski's gonna get ahead. I think he's gonna get a job. So
oh yeah, of course. Look how many. It's too big, man. It's too big.
He was coach of the year twice in the last 6 years. I think that should hold weight, and it will hold weight. I know, Jacob, you're not a fan of Stefanski, but I just feel like this year in particular.
So
that shit is not real. That fake coach of the year rubbish, brother, making coach of the year, making the playoffs just because you're with the Browns. That come on now. You shouldn't win coach of the year
with no real quarterback play.
Brother, you had Joe Flacco on the best run of his career since he was at Baltimore, and you had Baker
no one
Mayfield.
had Joe Flacco as a starter that season. Come on, man.
And they had weapons. They had weapons at that time, bro.
I won't even say weapons like that. Come on. The Browns haven't really had offensive weapons for years.
What? The Browns at one point had Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. out there. Stefanski ran them out of town.
Yeah.
No one ain't going to disrespect what Jarvis Landry was doing at that time.
No,
and Odell was coming off the Giants. He was the highest paid wide receiver at the time in the NFL. He was the guy. We can't sit here and go, oh no. That's who he had. He ran them out of town.
Yeah, but
and guess what? He just ran himself out of town as well.
They were still. When did Odell leave the Browns? Like 21. They were still competitive after that. Like that's 3-4 years ago. Odell left. The Browns have still been good in between. Like without great offensive talent for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I've not got no issue with them sacking him, but I feel like
there wasn't a good running game.
Huh?
There wasn't a good running game.
Yeah, but
Nick
like
Chubb was very
receivers wise, and the inconsistency in quarterbacks over the years, like get me.
No, but I'm just saying the years where he was coach of the year, I can't sit down and say, oh, you didn't have anyone.
But Kadeem, what do you think on Stefanski before we wrap up on that?
I think he's been okay in Cleveland. I see him getting a head job. Again, Dolphin fans aren't the be-all end-all, but I know quite a few Dolphin fans who want him in Miami. Fair. Charlie being one of them. Again, he's it's more winning games in Cleveland is very difficult to do because they've notoriously been a bad franchise, and I think the moment they brought in Deshaun Watson, like they became an even bigger mess than normal. So
Yep.
yeah, they're just a bad, dysfunctional franchise, basically.
Fair. Cool. That is our episode for this week up for the wild card weekend. Song of the week. Who wants to go first? Who wants to go first for the song of the week?
I don't mind going first,
Go ahead.
I had this artist on before, but I have her on again. Different song this time. Elia Lara, and it's called Follow You.
Cool. Where's she from?
Nice.
I don't really know her background or anything,
Fair.
I just know the song bangs.
Mine is Roses Are Tribal. Don E, obviously. You might know Don E. DJ J3 and some other 1 or 2 DJs on that track. They finally officially released it on Spotify and all that jazz earlier this week or so. But obviously hearing it, and I was out last week at Tribal Life, and when it come on, it went off the roof. So yeah, Roses Are Tribal.
Nice. Mine is Breathe House Tune by Brighter Days Family. So yeah, if you know your deep house, then yeah, you know about that track.
Mine is Who Are You to Me by 320.
Oh, Kadeem, I'm gonna applaud because that was gonna be my song of the week if you didn't say it. What a song! Oh my goodness, that's right below it. Who are you to? What a song!
It's really funny. I was out in Farringdon for lunch, and this like pop-up jerk stall was playing this music. I was like, "Yo, this is amazing!" Shazammed it, and it was that song. And the album came out a couple of weeks later. I was like, "Yo, yeah, 320. This is probably my album of the year. Like, love it."
Do you remember the group Van Jess? By any chance?
I realized I choosing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
320. Yeah.
See, that's one of them. Yeah, that's her and her husband. Yeah, that group is crazy. They performed in London,
Really?
Yeah, they were at the Jazz Cafe. Like 2 or 3 weeks. In October, they were at the Jazz Cafe, and apparently they're coming back. They come back because they come back for like £20. So yeah, when they do, I'll let you know. Yeah.
Thank you. I will be there. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I feel like the last time you were on Kadeem, we kind of dissected towards anime, and then you guys all just hit off like this.
Listen.
Then on the music thing, I'll tell you, we need to do a non-sporting episode, bro.
Just before I jumped on, my dinner came McDonald's. I'm gonna go heat it up. New JJK out. Listen,
What?
JJK new episode. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
See?
Yeah.
This is where I stopped the episode.
Bro, I was chatting to my friend about this yesterday. I was like, when is this thing coming out so I can just go watch it? So I didn't watch it in the cinema.
Out today, JJK season 3.
Does anyone know when the next Sakamoto Days episode's coming out?
No.
Nah, I don't know.
Brother, it's like they just stopped it abruptly. I'm waiting for the next one. I'm thinking to myself, what's going on here?
I'm waiting for that one to build up though, so I haven't seen it yet.
I'm behind.
Guess what I'm waiting for? So go piss. So now we're gonna thank you all for listening, watching, getting me like all that. As Dej likes to say, he's here, so you know.
You tell a friend to tell a friend.
And Jacob.
Like and subscribe.
Yes, what they said. Hit those buttons, get in the comments, join us. Give your NFL takes as well as any other takes, depending on what that episode is. Kadeem, thank you again for joining us. Much appreciated. I genuinely didn't think this conversation was going to be this long, but it was fantastic. And I looked at the time and I was like, raw. But yes, thank you again, bro, for joining us. Much appreciated. Hopefully the Dolphins can get it right this offseason with the coaching staff and the players. An interesting thing that I heard you guys say earlier was Devon Achane, if you're going to start again, please, if that's the case, Kansas City Chiefs, call the Miami Dolphins and make whatever trade needs to be made for Devon Achane because he's one of my favorite players in the NFL, and we need a really good running back. Joe, I am signing out.
Veg signing out.
Jacob signing out.
I guess Kadeem signing out as well.
There we go. Thank you for listening, people.